And Jose, yeah. Wow, Marvel Premiere #1. Talk to me.
Okay, so in our introduction, like I said, we're going to talk about the buying decisions, or at least my buying decisions in buying a book. This is Warlock, or Adam Warlock. Now, I love Jim Starlin. He wrote some of the best cosmic tales out there. Like I said, co-creator of Thanos and Gamora, all that good stuff. Okay, so like I said, if there's Thanos, you're usually going to find Warlock, Adam Warlock, and this is a key issue. It really is, okay? So it's purchased a Pendragon within the last couple of months for $60, a fairly reasonable price. Now, this book is hot right now. Why? Because eagle-eyed viewers out there obviously spotted it, the Cocoon. Now, this character has a complex, reborn history of coming back, and he's half man, half god. As you can see from the captions, a man-god reborn.
Yeah.
So he's appeared several times before this issue in Fantastic Four 66.
Yeah.
Okay, but then he came back again as him, or the first appearance of him as Warlock is in Thor 165 or 6, if I remember correctly. But like I said, this is the origin, or that's the story of the story of the character, and the first appearance of Warlock as Adam Warlock, if that's not too confusing for you.
Yeah.
And it is a very nice book. Like I said, condition-wise, I fairly paid for it, like I said. But now we're going to talk about what I look at when I'm buying a book. Now, of course, there's lots of numbers out there. Of course, anybody needs the tools to help them decide. And I would consider something like the Overstreet Guide to give you a baseline, a snapshot. It's static, but it gives you broad numbers as far as parameters for different grades. So that's a starting point. Next, I think you probably should go online and go to sites like Go Collect for slabbed copies. In other words, graded professionally, third-graded copies. And the comic book realm for broadly traded values that take out the really high highs and the low lows and gives you a more average kind of thing. And of course, like I said, you should always determine what you're willing to pay. Now, I would consider this grade maybe a VF minus, maybe a 7.5. I don't think it's a full VF, but for that price, I don't think I did too badly.
It's still a beautiful copy.
Oh, it's a very nice copy, and like I said, in a very high grade. Now, the highest grade that sold from Go Collect in the last year was a 9.6, and it sold for almost $700 US, $686. Wow. So you can imagine, and that's the difference when you're getting grades above 9, 9.2. For the really high grades, you pay very high multiples. But like I said, I did fairly well. And I think currently, like I said, I did quite well. Like I said, you can't look just at Overstreet, because at Overstreet, like I said, this is basically what it says it should be. In my opinion, like I said, this book, if I had to go buy it right now, I hate to say it, like I said, I'd be looking at more like, believe it or not, in a 7.5 grade, according to the realm, on 175 US.
175 US.
I'm not saying that that's what it is, but if I were to get it graded and it came back at 7.5, that's currently what it would be trading at. Now, you have to add the $66, $70 to the 60s, so you're up to 130. So, I mean, there's costs involved, but like I said, if I wanted to flip it, I could make money on it right now.
For sure,
Oh, wow. Anything with Doom in it, for sure.
Oh, I agree.
He's still being used today. He's still in, I believe he's in the new Invincible Iron Man series that just rebooted right now. So the older the better for these, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Classic villain. And obviously, you know, here we're looking at Astonishing Tales #6. So, Jose, talk to me. What was the mindset behind this book here? What made you decide to buy this one?
Okay, this is early Bronze Age goodness from one of our local retailers, Gotham Central, which is not generally known for back issues. Pendragon usually is. They're more known for modern books, new books, and statues and other collectibles. But like I said, they don't carry a lot of back titles, but this was on their wall and I had to buy it. Now, this is Astonishing Tales featuring Kazar and Dr. Doom. In other words, 2 stories. Early Bronze Age from June of 71. And there's 3 major reasons why I bought this Bronze Age goodness, okay? Now, the first one, of course, as mentioned, is, like I said, it's got a cool Dr. Doom cover there kind of thing. But the main reason is, like I said, they've announced, Marvel again, they're going to do a Black Panther movie. Okay, so and one of the tales, the Tentacles of the Tyrant with Doctor Doom there, involves the Black Panther.
I actually didn't know they were going to do a Black Panther film.
Yes,
I didn't know that either. Wow.
Well, that's what you have. They've announced for the next 5 years, I think, and like I said, so that's the first reason. So anything Black Panther is going up, and that's connected to the next book we'll talk about. The second reason, of course, is this features the first appearance, albeit a cameo. Now, for readers out there, a cameo is basically where a character appears basically in one panel or something like that.
Yeah.
In this case, the cameo is of Dr. Barbara Bobby Morse, who later becomes Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Now, why is that important? Because in the series of TV right now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're thinking of introducing her character. Whether as Dr. Barbara Morse or as Mockingbird, we don't know yet, but that's her first appearance. Now, she's not named. In Astonishing Tales number 12, which came out a few months later, she comes out as first full appearance and as Dr. Barbara Morse, and she's named.
Wow.
Now, the other key issue, of course, there is Marvel Team Up 95 when she actually becomes Mockingbird, and the team up is, of course, with Spider-Man.
Really?
So those are the big three key issues for Mockingbird.
So again, just Jose, just to reiterate, this is the first appearance of Mockingbird. It's a cameo.
No, not Mockingbird. Of Dr. Barbara Morse, who's not named.
Oh, okay, who's not named, who eventually becomes Mockingbird. Okay, yes. I got it. Okay.
So, like I said, for this one, it's her first cameo, or in other words, it's still considered her first appearance. She's not named. In Astonishing Tales number 12, she is named, and in Marvel Team Up 95, she comes dressed in the costume and as Mockingbird.
Wow.
Now, this one, if you'll see condition-wise, it's a very clean copy.
Oh, yeah.
There's no very little, I didn't actually see any staples, stress marks on the spine, clean spine, perfect registry, clean corners. In other words, a very, very near mint. But like I said, if you'll notice on the Dr. Doom there, it's got a stamp. And now, what I believe this is, it's either a distributor stamp or a retailer stamp. Back then, they didn't think of things like, well, I'm going to stamp a book and therefore mark
They used to do it to all of them.
Exactly. And if sometimes if that was, like I said, they maybe wouldn't do it to all of them, but if it came in a bundle, the first book would get stamped.
Top one, yeah.
You know what?
Exactly.
It doesn't. Although it downgrades books slightly, it's not a very big downgrade. My understanding it isn't considered a very big downgrade.
Okay.
Now, the other thing I liked about this, I don't know how often you see this, but how often do you see that?
Well, for a book that's
It's not
from
yellow.
71, that's 45 years old. I mean, it is very nice. Like I said, outside of the stamp, which I don't think mars it that much aesthetically, I would grade it now in that condition. I would say a VF near mint, maybe a 9.2 if you're being charitable. For $60, which is what I paid for, it was very reasonable.
Okay.
CGC 9 rated books are selling for $100. And if you could, like I said, find one in a really good, like I said, condition, a recent 9.6 sale sold for $175 US.
Okay, so the bottom line is, if you see it, buy it.
But like I said, early 15-cent cover, early Bronze Age for under $100, yes.
For sure.
For that grade, yes. I did okay, and like I said, if I graded it, I would get my money back and make a little bit. But like I said, I'll let it marinate. It will go up, I think, because of the Black Panther connection and because of the connection with Bobby Morse and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Cool. Mike, do you own one?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet, neither.
I'm gonna keep my eye open now that he's got one.
Me too. I don't own one either. And Jose just mentioned that last book of the evening, the Black Panther #2, 30-cent cover, very nice. So Jose, tell me, what made you decide to buy this one?
Okay, so here we are again, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's another Pendragon find. They've got really, really good, cool stuff. Black Panther, like I said, the movie's been announced. It's hot book. I mean, his first appearance now, which is, I believe, in Fantastic 452, is through the roof. It's basically gone beyond our reach, unless we're spending over $1,000 for a high grade.
Yeah.
So, but this is my bargain book, and this is, like I said, you don't need to spend a lot of money to basically ride the coattails of the exposure of a character when it gets major news. Like I said, obviously a #1 issue would have been more preferable, okay? This, however, like I said, the first appeal is, of course, the cover. I'm a cover sucker. I will always buy a good cover. And for people in the know, of course, this is, I don't have to point out, a classic Jack Kirby cover.
Yeah, it's only $20. It only costs you $25.
$25. It's reasonable. It's a very, very nice book. Like I said, it's got a nice action Kirby cover. This is is from March of 1977. It's Black Panther against the 6 million year man.
Wow.
Now, if we all remember the 70s, 77, the big show on TV was the $6 million man. So he's fighting the 6 million year man, and you can see him right there with some brainwave blasting the Black Panther. It's a great cover. It's a great classic Kirby cover. Now, this series did not last very long. Kirby did the first 12 issues. Apparently, according to stories, like I said, he wasn't really thrilled about revisiting a character he invented many years before. Like I said, it didn't last long. I would have bought a number 1 if it was reasonably priced, but like I said, I settled for the number 2, and like you said, at $25, I could easily see it doing a double.
For sure.
Now we'll talk about condition. Like I said, it's a very clean book. Like I said, the corners are sharp, they're clean, there's very little waving, actually no waving that I detected. The spine registry is excellent. There's very minimal like staple cracks or stress marks on the spine. In other words, I would grade this at least a near mint. Touching near mint, very fine near mint, 9.2. The major defect, and if I could call it that, is if you can notice, if Mike will point it out, by the 30-cent and the barcode near the top and the bottom, and somewhat a little bit on the Black Panther itself, you'll see some discoloration. Now, these are printed books, so like I said, they would have been probably put in a bundle to send to the retail stores. Like I said, maybe the ink was not quite dry on a book that was pressed next to it. Like I said, I don't consider it that much of a defect. Like I said, maybe a half grade point if you're gonna touch it for that, but for what I paid for it, like I said, $25, and a year from now, I predict it'll probably be at least double that, 50.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure.
Very cool.
It's a beautiful book, Jose.
Yes, exactly. I loved it, like I said, and it's my bargain finder this show.
Wow. Wow, geez. Wow, Jose, thanks very much. This was, probably the most informative episode.
Most educational episode ever.
Yeah. It's actually inspiring me to actually do more research. I tend to throw the books down and say I like the cover, and
that's it.
So
the date and
look, guys, like we all have our internal processes, and my main aim was basically to give people an idea of what I look for in a book. Like I said, personal interest will always take side. Like I said, it's head and heart. Intellectually, you want to do your research. Like I said, there's lots of tools out there. I've already mentioned the Overstreet Guide, which gives you a baseline for prices, but I'm keeping in mind it's static, it's printed once a year, and it's often out of date, but it gives you a general idea. There's other tools out there, like we mentioned on the internet, The Realm and Go Collect, and like I said, in eBay. eBay will give you the wildest prices as far as swings, so those are the highs and the lows. But like I said, Go Collect will give you a good idea of what slabbed or graded third copies go for, and The Realm will give you a baseline of what the current market more or less has for the broad grade ranges, taking out the really high highs and the low lows.
And you said Comic Book Mayhem too?
Comic Book Mayhem, how could I forget? And yes, like I said, for analysis, for information, for movie release information, and for key issue and kind of character related kind of key issues, it's a great site to visit.
I just checked it out for the first time this week.
Oh yes,
I've popped into it here and there.
Very impressive.
It's as far as, like I said, the other sites we mentioned are more for grading and pricing. This one gives you a more broad general knowledge, and like I said,
what you're looking at.
Exactly. A lot of these comics have been featured on that site.
Cool. Okay, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up here. Wow, we've gone a long time. I'm probably going to have to split this into 2 episodes, but as usual, I mean, I hope you like what you saw here. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did like what you saw, leave comments because we really like reading them. And guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, dudes.
See you later.
Special guest Mike. Yes.